In this video, we're going to take a look at just a couple of the conditional formatting tools available in Excel 2010. Here we have a list of the stocks that make up the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Let's say I'm interested in identifying the top 3 securities in terms of volume of shares traded. I'll select the range of cells, in this case E2 through E31. I'll go to the conditional formatting icon on the Home tab of my ribbon, and I'll choose Top Bottom Rules. From the Top Bottom Rules group, the flyout menu shows you a number of choices. Here I'll select Top 10 Items. Now I'm actually interested in just the top 3, so I'm going to change that number 10 to a 3. And you can see real time those top 3 securities have been selected and highlighted in red. I'd like to actually change the format though, so I'm going to change this drop down and select Custom Format. And in the window that appears, I'll choose a blue fill color, and I'll go to the Font tab and make those cells bold and italic. I'll choose OK and OK, and we can see that those securities now have that appearance, at least on the volume of shares traded. Now the conditional formatting is dynamic, so if the cell doesn't meet the condition, the format is not applied. So let's say, for example, I change the volume for Bank of America from 96 million to 3 million. You can see that it's no longer one of the top 3. And so that formatting has moved to another security. In this case, Microsoft is now part of the top 3. Let's look at another conditional format. And let's say we want to do an analysis or an assessment of the percentage change in price. Some of the securities have had an increase, some a decrease, and some, like a GE, are flat. I'm going to use conditional formatting to give me a picture of those relative differences. So we'll go to conditional formatting and choose data bars. And in the data bars group, you can do a solid or gradient bar of color inside the cell. In this case, I'm going to opt for, say, an orange data bar. And when I select that, you can see that the securities that have had an increase have a bar going to the right. The securities that have had a decrease have a red bar going to the left. So there's a dotted line that appears in the middle of the cell showing the split or the breakpoint between the positive and negative changes. Again, this is all relative to the other cells. So, for example, let's change Caterpillar from 1.18 to, say, 20%. Now you'll see that it has the widest positive bar, and all the other bars are smaller by comparison, even the negatives. So the absolute size, or the size of the bar, is determined by the absolute value and the relative of that absolute value compared to the other data. Now this particular spreadsheet is linked to the actual Dow Jones data on the web. So I artificially had changed that Caterpillar number, and I think it was Bank of America. So I'm simply going to refresh my data by right-clicking and choosing refresh, and the real number should come back, and the conditional formatting should now be in the appropriate place. That's all for today. Come back again soon for some additional Excel tips.